Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to replace a standard outlet like this with an outlet that has USB charging ports. So stay tuned and check it out. Alright, so the first thing to do is shut the power off to this outlet. And I've already gone downstairs and turned the breaker off. And now let's just make sure that it's off. So I've got my light right here, it's plugged in and it's on. So let me grab that plug over here. And let's plug it in to here and just confirm that it's off. So, yep, looks to be off. Just double and triple check. Won't want to get shocked. Alright, so the power's off. Now we can start unscrewing this. Alright, now that we've got the power off, we can take this cover plate off. That's just typically a flathead screwdriver. That just comes off like that. Then we're going to remove these two screws. Alright, and just to triple check that the power is off, I've got one of these voltage testers and I'm just going to touch it on all the screws just to make sure that the power is certainly off. If the power was on, this thing would start blinking and beeping. So it looks like we're good. Alright, with these screws unscrewed, we'll just pull this out and we can see the wires now. Okay, so just looking at the three wires that we have the black wire, which is the load. We've got the white wire, which is the neutral wire, and we've got this copper wire, which is the ground wire. So to remove this outlet, we'll just take these screws out. Alright, there we go. Now we've got this outlet removed. As you can see, these ends are kind of bent up, so I'm going to start fresh. I'm just going to cut these off here. So we're just going to take a little needle nose pliers like this and put a little loop on this ground wire. Next we'll take a wire strippers and strip this back just a little bit. Alright, so there are a couple ways to attach the wire to an outlet. So one way is you would just kind of stick the wire behind this little flap here and then tighten the screw down and that will hold it in place. On other outlets, it looks like a hole in the back of the outlet like that. So you would just stick the wire in that hole and then tighten down the screw. It's going to do the same thing. But the way that I prefer is actually looping it around the back side of the screw and then tightening the screw down. Just seems like a little bit more secure of a connection, but I guess that's my preference. So let me show you. Alright, so we're just going to put a little loop on the ends of both of these wires. Now we can loosen up the screws. A key thing to remember if you're going to loop the wire around the screw like this is that you want the loop to go clockwise. And the reason for that is once you put it back here and you start tightening the screw, the wire is not going to kind of back out with the tightening of the screw. So if it was looped around the other way, you'd be almost kind of loosening the wire. Alright, so we've got this one on there. We've got the load, the black wire going to the bronze screw. I don't know if it's bronze or copper, but I always remember black to bronze. Alright, same thing for the white wire. We'll just loosen up the screw a little bit. And we'll loop the wire around. Just like that, and then we can tighten the screw down. And then we can attach the ground wire to the green screw. And then we can screw down. Alright, now we've got all three wires attached. We can push this back into the box and screw it in there. And before you tighten it down completely, just make sure that this is pretty straight up and down. And finally, just reinstall the cover plate. Alright, we've got that swapped out. Now let's go flip on the breaker and make sure that it works. Alright, we'll steal this light plug again. Plug it into here. Look at that. We've got light. So yeah, that's pretty much all there is to it. It's pretty simple and straightforward. Just once again, make sure that you cut the power before working on outlets like this. So having a few of these USB outlets is really convenient. I've actually gone around a couple different spots in our house and started replacing some of the ordinary ones with some of these USB ones. For instance, like my office where I typically charge some of my camera gear like this. Also, right next to our bed where we charge our phones and our watches at night. It's pretty convenient just to have some of these USB outlets. And another spot actually is on the columns behind our couch in the basement. That way, if we want to plug in our phone while we're watching a movie, or maybe we got to plug in the laptop while we're working on the couch, it's really convenient to have them right there. So I hope this video gave you the confidence to start swapping out some of your standard outlets with these USB outlets. And if it did, or if you just enjoyed this video in general, maybe you learned something, it'd be awesome if you could hit that like button down below. That just lets YouTube know that this was a decent video and maybe it should pass it on to some other people to watch. And if you haven't already, consider hitting that subscribe button as well. That way you're notified every time I release a new video. And until next time, thanks for watching.